Greetings and salutations, everyone, and welcome back to today's 4th of July bonus upload. Before we get into it, a couple links. As you know, I rely on Patreon, PayPal, and my merch to help the channel to continue to grow and go. The links to Patreon and PayPal are in the description below. My merch is displayed directly under the video. Also, Dogman, Frightening Encounters, Volume 1, 2, and 3, the audiobook versions. They were written and researched by Tom Lyons, narrated and produced by me, Jeffrey Nadolny. Those audiobooks are available on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes, the links to which are also in the description as well. And finally, last but definitely not least, if you'd really like to help support this channel to continue to grow and go, simply subscribe, click the like button, and please leave a comment. It really does help. And you know what, guys? It really does matter. And now, everyone, I have taken far too much of your time. Let's get into today's bonus, shall we? All right, guys. With the emergence of all of these really interesting new apps coming out, TikTok, other things like that, we are getting little clips of videos that we may not have ever been able to see. Today, I'm going to share with you a couple clips, and you guys be the decision maker. I got a couple that I'm on the fence about. There's one that I'm kind of concerned about, and a couple that, well, I really don't buy. Let's get into those.
I'm gonna stay right here.
Look at that.
You go lower than that?
Lower than?
I think it's poison.
No, Brittany, no.
Nah, hold on.
I'm
Chill.
going first.
Oh, nah, go first. I'm about to take a picture of it. You gotta get lower than that. Look at him move.
Oh my God.
Uh-oh, it's about to catch something. Y'all ready to go back?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so it's something dog or what? Oh, la verga!
Mano, ia tacar o Gé mesmo, mano.
Ah lá, mano. Olha o descendo, Danilo. Ele tá olhando pra cá, velho, a cara dele. Olha aí, olha olhando pra mim, olha ali. Olha lá, olha ali, pra que é isso, cara? Olha. É muito grande, cara. Olha onde continua. Ele tá de frente do Gé, mano. A minha câmera do peito que pegou, cara. Pra lá em que também, mano.
Vamos sair daqui. Só que dá gente aqui.
Ó, vai, calma. Vai pra lá, vai também.
Bora, mano.
Hi there.
Who are you?
I'm old Greg. Pleased to meet you.
What do you want?
Maybe I should ask you the same question.
All right, there you have it. A couple of videos from TikTok. And some, well, one is definitely the end clip there is, wow. Pretty amazing that that's even thought about as being real. The Michigan Dogman one I had actually talked about prior. And the more I look at it, the less on the fence I am. I'm almost off the fence saying that may be real. But then again, why isn't it charging the person that's taking the video? Unless it's a trail cam. But I don't believe it is a trail cam. The video to start the feed with, I really have no clue where I feel on that. I really wish, what I really wish is we could have some sort of video or photograph of just the most spectacular, clear video or photo of these things. But I don't think we are able to get that, because I really feel like their being or whatever resonates some sort of charge, either magnetic or electric, and that's maybe why we can't. James Darkwaters had a gentleman, he introduced me to a gentleman named Blue, who was doing a live Facebook feed. And during that Facebook feed, he caught a dog man running through his yard. And a lot of people were like, that's a hoax, that's this, that's that. But it was a live feed. See, a lot of people failed to realize after they saw the video that it was a live feed. It was boom, right there, real time. And it's not clear, but it's not blurry too bad to where you can't tell that it is a dog man. I mean, you can obviously tell it's a dog man, but it has a lot of blur to it. And I really think that they give off some sort of electric or magnetic charge. Now, when Steph and I had talked about these rifts, the portals, when they come out of these things, maybe their bodies are charged, or because they're not of this plane of existence. I don't know. This is theory. I'm talking theory. There is no exact science. So maybe because they are not from this plane of existence, things are different for their whatever. I'm not sure. But I really wish we could figure out a way of getting like the greatest picture and video. But then once we got that, let's say we got that photo, there would be people that would, I just hit the mic, sorry guys. There would be people that would debunk it or try to debunk it. You know, the government, let's say the government released a photo and said, hey, this is a dog man, or this is Sasquatch. This is a video. There would be those people out there that would not be willing to accept that it was. Just because we have been told for so long that these things don't exist. Monsters don't exist. You know, from day one of my daughter's existence and talking to them, they knew that the paranormal was real. My youngest daughter, Isabel, would go into her grandmother had a very, very large old Victorian home. And it was haunted. It was very, very charged with some good and bad spirits. And she could see them. Not all the time, but... And she would, she would say, "Hey, I don't want to go in that room right now." And this is at 4. My oldest daughter, Abigail, at the cemetery. I call it the haunted cemetery of Glens Falls. It's something's very wrong with that cemetery. She saw what she believes to be a Dogman. She called it a skinwalker for a while until I, explained, hey, this is what a skinwalker is. She thinks possibly it's a shapeshifter now. But whatever it is, it resembled a wolf-like creature. So I never taught them to, that monsters don't exist, because they do. And I think by doing that kind of lifted, it didn't create fear for them. It kind of lifted it, and it gave them kind of an interest. Like, my youngest daughter, Belle, is fascinated with the paranormal, with ghosts, especially with haunted places, with historic haunted places. That's going to be a very large part of the new channel going forward. Always Dogman, always cryptid, but her and I are going to be going to some really haunted places she wants to go to. I'll give you a heads up right now. We will be going to the Conjuring House, and we're both looking forward to it. I can't tell you when, because that's part of the surprise too. But we're both excited about doing stuff like that. Abigail will probably come on a couple of trips with us, but she's doing her own thing. But she's fascinated with the paranormal. She actually, and I know people will be like, "Oh my God, don't," but she looks at like, trying to figure out the best way of putting this. She is very fascinated with nature and, I guess, white witchcraft, crystals, natural healing, things that are looked down upon by the norm. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little video clip part of the upload. I'm going to end it with an experience or an encounter, though. Today's bonus encounter. So I'd love to tell you these experiences, because when I open up with, "So I've encountered a werewolf once," people are immediately intrigued by the absurdity of what I'm saying. These two experiences happened almost a decade apart, and for obvious reasons, I can't guarantee they are related at all, but it seems reasonable to at least entertain that idea. The first experience takes place at my cousin's trailer, a couple of houses down from mine. We live in a rural town in the foot of the Appalachian region, so there's plenty of forest coverage around us. We were playing hide and seek, and all was well until I tagged my cousin and made him the seeker. He hated seeking, so instead of playing the game, he decided to quit and sit on the front of his porch. The time was around midnight, maybe a bit earlier, so naturally it's pitch black outside, and perfect for scaring someone. My cousin's friend, my brother, and I began to devise a plan to get revenge on the cousin for being a sore loser. So we came up with this. We lure him into the edge of the woods, and my brother jumps out at him. A very simple plan for a couple of dumb 13-year-olds. So we got to it. We managed to convince him that there was something making noises in the woods, And so he came with us to investigate. As we walked to the edge of the forest, we heard something inside walking with us. I looked at my cousin's friend, and we're both grinning, knowing it was my brother beyond those trees. Then, out of nowhere, my brother bursts from the side of my cousin's trailer, screaming and roaring, sending all of us into a fearful panic. He got us good. So good, in fact, that we totally forgot about the noise coming from the forest. That could no longer be attributed to my brother. As we were all laughing about the scare, we heard the horrifying noise come from the depths of the forest behind us. It was a loud scream. It sounded like a man screaming for help. It slowly changed pitch, and to this day, I swear it said help. After about 5 seconds of human-sounding screams, it turned into the most guttural roar I've personally ever heard. It was chilling. We ran inside, and my cousin opened the blinds to his window, and it was right then that we noticed the obvious and haunting sight of the full moon. Yeah, we don't know what could have made those noises. And yeah, there's farms around. It could have been a cow being attacked by coyote, or pretty much anything that happens in rural American woods. But I've never heard anything like it before or since. Fast forward 9 years, I'm coming home late from work one night. As I'm driving, I see 2 bright orange eyes peering at me from the side of the dark road. I thought it may have been a fox or a dog, but as I got closer, I realized this is no average fox or dog. It's massive, black, wolf-like creature. This creature was so tall on all fours, it seemed to be almost as tall as my car. Its back legs were almost kangaroo-like, very long and muscular looking, while the front legs were short and thin. It dashed across the road and got in front of my car, jumping the fence to the left of the road, almost with no struggle. When I got home, I nonchalantly told my family that I finally got to see the werewolf that made the noise all those years ago. I don't necessarily believe it was an actual werewolf, but I can't honestly say it wasn't. All right, so interesting thing. I don't know what I believe. I mean, if I believe in skinwalkers, do I believe that people can transform into a dog man or a werewolf or whatever? I think that a skinwalker does not resemble a dogman. It may possibly look canine-like, but I don't think they are as big. I believe if, let's say you're a 5'10" guy, and you are a shapeshifter, Navajo or whatever, Ojibwe, Iroquois, whatnot, Cherokee, and you're practicing the dark arts of your nation's magic. I think that if you change, you will still be that same height. That's just how I feel. If, with like a skinwalker, Native American skinwalker, let's say the witch is 5'8". He's 5'8", and he changes and stalks around as a creature. He's, in my eyes, only going to be 5'8". Where to a dog man is 6.5 to 8.5 feet. So that's just my view, my theory. I don't know. It could change tomorrow with a couple of hours and thinking about it. So, that's the thing that really is interesting about cryptozoology, is I think that it's a fascinating subject, but it can be a pain right in the butt, because let's say you're sitting and you're thinking about something and you come up with an amazing theory. And the more you think about that theory, the more you punch holes in it, or you add to it. And then the theory just is then garbage because you've got this other theory. I think we should all have a collection of theories until, I actually have a notebook where I've written out all of my theories on these things. And I've gone back and looked at it and giggled at some because they were so dumb sounding. But then I thought about it a little more and I was like, well, you know what? It's never been proven not to be that way. So who's to say it's not? So anyway, happy 4th of July, everyone. Please drive safe if you're at a picnic and having any kind of alcoholic beverages. Please don't risk anyone's lives, your own, your family's, other people's. I'd hate to lose subscribers that way. It would be terrible. And I'd hate for anybody to cause harm to anyone else. So please be safe. And also be safe if you guys are doing fireworks. I'd really not want to hear about a subscriber blowing their hand off or something like that. I know in a couple of hours when it gets dark in upstate New York, me and my girls are going to do some fireworks. I got some really good ones and ones that did not come from New York State. So I'm looking forward to that. And, just just remember, you don't have to like the government of the country today, but the veterans, the soldiers, the people who fought to make this beautiful country what it is, the founding fathers that set the guidelines for this beautiful country, the land, let's be thankful for that. I mean, we don't have to be thankful for the corrupt parties that rule our country. We just have to be thankful for this great, beautiful nation we have. Where else in the world can you go and be in a frozen tundra, fly a couple of hours and you're in a desert, fly a couple more hours and you're in a tropical kind of rainforest on the West Coast in Seattle, Washington, or not Seattle, Washington, but Washington. Fly across the country and be in the Adirondacks. Fly down the coast and be in the Great Smokies, Texas. I mean, we have the greatest country. So let's be thankful for the country we live in and the people who are like us and appreciate what we have, if not for just one day. May the Great Spirit watch over us and may He guide us down that path that we call life. Happy 4th, everyone.